Hello folks, it is me again, Cyrus Trains, back with another video, and today we're reviewing this, a MTH Ho GS-4 in the BNSF paint scheme. I got this at a train show from a vendor called the Dinky Club, or Dinky Club, I think it's Dinky. Even though it says 685 Canadian dollars, I actually only paid 300 for it. And apparently it was new as well. Here are a list of features if you would like to read that out. And yes, today I'm back on the old camera. This is a 2008 MTH made in Korea, which is pretty interesting. I don't have many of those, or at least all of my MTHs that I have are made in Korea, which is pretty cool, I will say. Yeah, I have no microphones today, so hopefully I don't sound too weird. But yeah, let's open this up. And one thing I'm noticing, the color on the camera makes this look yellow. This is a very bright red in person, so very interesting. Alright, let's open this up. So here we have the manual, original warranty cards too, and all of the retailers that sell MTH. And in the manual, might as well pull it out here. Yeah, this came with it as well. It's the original flyer, I think. I don't know if this actually came with the locomotive. As 17 years ago is when I was born. So here's the this warranty registration card. Now, of course, the manual, and then the DCS thing, if you want DCS, and then the participating NASC list, and then participating ASC retailer list. Alright, then move this over here, and then here is the thing here. I really want to get a triplex, really cool to have. So yeah, in the thing we have, who's MTH, of course, then the original catalog, this retailed, if this is the right one, which it almost looks like it is O scale, but it says it's HO stuff, so I'm guessing it is. So this retailed for $449, I'm guessing this is USD too, I don't know if it is, I'm thinking it's, we put that into an inflation calculator, that becomes 641 USD. Then once you convert that into Canadian, it becomes 879 Canadian dollars. Not really bad. I paid below original price, which is nice. And then here's how they're wrapped. I like the wrapping on this, I will say. The MTH lettering is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Here we have a spare axle with no traction tires. You can see the little stars as well, which is pretty cool. Put that back in there. We'll go with the tender first, because why not? Yeah, there we go. It's such a beautiful color, and they weigh so much too. And then of course here, these do actually open to reveal the controls for the smoke unit on, off, and volume. Put that to the side. Oh, and then of course we do have the wheel nut remover. Right, now for the main item. Oh, it weighs a ton. Yeah, so here it is. It's just so beautiful. I mean, of course I know what I was getting myself into with MTH, by the way. I'm not saying they're the most detailed brand ever. I know they're not. And of course we have a wireless tender, wireless tender drawbar, which works really well, I will say as well. Deck plate that actually moves. And then the cab is fully detailed as well. And I love how the engineer is actually, he has his hand on the regulator, which is really cool. like majority of modern manufacturers, like probably Limited or Athearn, don't even have full crew figures, which is really cool to see. The only defect, which I think you guys already see, is right here. I don't really think it's a big issue. I don't know if the guy did this. He said it was new. I'm guessing this is a factory defect because it doesn't look like you could really scrape that off. Unless that was just, unless that was just coming off with time. Because this is plastic, I think. Or, oh no, that is metal. Okay, I thought it was plastic. I think this paint was maybe scraped off or something. I don't know. But yeah. Alright, let's, I guess, see how the wireless tender is and do a coupler height test. Folks, so here it is set up. I have the Tangent 87-foot box car here again, and the MTH tender. I don't have it hooked up, but the rolling resistance isn't really the best. I will say it's interesting. So here, let's test it here. It's bent to the right. Interesting. And there we go. And that's perfect coupler height. Nice. Alright, let's move on to the front coupler on the engine. So here's the front of the engine. It is missing the spring. It fell off for some reason. And yeah, that is a little bit high. I mean, a little bit low, actually. But you're never really going to have this in the front anyways. But, yeah, something to look out for. So, yeah. Before we take it down to the track, I do just want to show you guys the weight. Alright, let's go look at the weight. Alright, so now this thing is an absolute tank when it comes to weight. With the weight, it weighs around 1 pound, 8.0 ounces, which is quite a lot, especially for a GS-4. And with the tender, it is 10.9 ounces. And then with the locomotive and the tender, it weighs 2 pounds, 2.9 ounces. So yeah, definitely a very hefty weight to it. Alright folks, I actually decided I want to do an up-close detail here, because I have mine as well. And I do want to critique this locomotive like I do for every other locomotive. So yeah, the riveting on this is actually really nice. I don't know how realistic it is to the real BNSF 4449, as that ran in 2000, I'm not entirely sure on it. But yeah, it looks really good, I will say. Here though, I will say, they did kind of skimp out on the detail. But of course, this is from 2008, so maybe it was a bit harder to do that back then for a kind of a mass-produced steam locomotive. Because I know back then, in like the 2008, remembering correctly, back then, people weren't really looking too much into road-specific detail, stuff like that. I don't know about that, though. That's at least just what I've heard. But yeah, regardless, it does look pretty good still. They are missing the automatic oil auger, if that's what it's called, at least the water lines. But majority of brands miss that as well. Here on the engine, it's my contrast, I think, is a bit too high on this camera. But we do have working classification lights, which is pretty cool, and a working air horn as well, and really good smoke. For some reason, this one did not come with the electro couplers, because I guess that wasn't really a thing in 2008. I don't think they started doing that until 2010, I think. The light does oscillate as well. All the number boards are lit. And going around, one of the most disappointing things for me, I think, is that MTH didn't put the bell that's like under here. I don't remember what side it is. But they didn't for some reason. I'm not focused. There is legible builder's plates. Yeah, come on. Do your job. There we go. They are legible. They're not like etched though, but they are legible. I'm not sure what's going on here with the throttle linkage. This does move, which is actually pretty cool, as you can see. But maybe it's not meant to move, and that's why everything's like this. So I'm gonna have to probably fix that. I think what happened is, since it was -10 when I brought this out from the train show, it was like 20 something degrees inside. Alrighty folks, I am back. Sorry for that. My camera died then. But yeah, hopefully I'll remember what I was saying. I was talking about the bell not being here, which is, it's a bit annoying. It's no Brownie Limited, but I'm quite surprised that they didn't put that. I don't think they put that on their models, or maybe it wasn't here on the 2000 excursion train for BNSF, but I think it was. We have the stars on the axles, which is really cool. Nice touch, I will say. I like that the rods are actually scale on this as well, which is pretty cool. All of the drivers are actually sprung, except for this one. They are all sprung. And then like I was saying, I was saying about the cab. Here we have the deck plate. I don't get why it's so high up, but obviously it's like that for a reason. We have kind of bare detail back here, I will say. Of course, it is from 2008. Don't forget that. It's not a brass model either. It's just a regular model. Of course, Jesus Christ, we are missing the detail, of course, unfortunately. But I will say I do like this wireless drawbar. Pretty cool thing. But I will say under the tender here, we do have all-wheel pickup as well, which is pretty cool. Majority of modern engines don't actually have that. But there's not really any detail here for the brake cylinders or anything, which is quite surprising. Unless in real life this one didn't have detail like that there. Or I should say brake piping like that there. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. I'm no 4449 expert. Majority of the Jesus Christ detail here is molded on the tender, unfortunately. It still looks good though. Yeah, no metal couplers, which is interesting. Maybe that wasn't a standard back in the day. But yeah, this is, pretty nice, I will say. And this is all metal handrails here. And these are all metal handrails as well. And then the smoke or boiler cap does come off. And this is metal as well. That is metal, which is nice. That's what it looks like on the inside, if you're wondering. And if I grab this here, just put it back on. Where is it? This way. There we go, back on. Very simple and easy. So yeah, definitely a good looking model. Of course, as I just said again, it's not the most prototypical thing, but still, it looks good. Alright, so here we go. Before I show the functions and stuff, I thought I might as well show how to hook up the wireless drawbar here. So all you have to do, since this is the 2008 version, it's not really that close together. All you need to really do, and this is very tight, by the way, if you're wondering, find the pin on here and put it in. Need to lift it up sometimes. There we go. Then it's in. This is very hard to come apart, by the way. This is pretty tight. So yeah, it's not going anywhere, which is nice. So yeah, let's hear those functions. Alrighty, folks. So we do actually have a function list for this locomotive. It's on page 19. We do have quite a lot of functions. So yeah, this is going to be kind of fun. Although there is a function called train wreck, which is on F28. No idea what that does. I haven't tried it yet. But I do like that every single function does actually do something different. Unlike the cough cough Broadway Limited functions, where some of them just do the exact same thing. So yeah, that is nice. And I will say the sound quality on this also is absolutely amazing. For how old this is, it truly sounds just incredible. It's something you would expect out of an O-scale locomotive. It sounds that good. So yeah, let's start it up with the extended startup, which is F14, or actually 13.
How we doing on fuel? Sure can. Got a tanker truck and a pump truck standby. Fuel level looks good. How's that new pump holding up? So far, so good. looks like it'll be a nice day to show 44, 49 off. I can't wait to get out on the line today.
Here comes the train. 4449's on the point. Now that's impressive.
Okay, folks, this is Richville. We'll be stopping here for lunch.
Wow, look at the crowd.
You think these people never saw a train before? Well, the 4449 never run over this track before. The last, hey Doyle, did you see the crowd on the bridge at Marshall? Yeah, we sure put on a show for them. Hope their cameras are ready. Okay, Jack, let's get ready to take on Providence Hill. Yep, we'll be working hard on that grade. All aboard, folks. All aboard. Train leaves in 5 minutes. Well, that sounds like back to work for us. We got a clear signal. Ready to go? Yep, plenty of steam. Okay, let's go. Hope those guys in the diesel can keep up. Check on that water level, will you? I can't wait to get out on the line today. It looks like it'll be a nice day to show 44, 49 off. How's that new pump holding up? So far, so good. Hey guys, we're a little low on water. Can you help us out? Sure can. Got a tanker truck and a pump truck standby. Great, thanks. Okay, that'll do it. Alright, have a good trip. Thanks. Okay, let's get her steam. Alright, have a good trip. Thanks. How are we doing on fuel? we doing on fuel? Fuel level looks good. It looks like it'll be a nice day to show 44, 49 off.
Alrighty, folks. So that's the functions. So I guess train wreck literally wrecks the train. That's interesting. So yeah, the only ones I didn't do so far in the functions here was the cab chatter auto off, because that's already auto on, and then clickety clack auto off, auto on. And the only one I didn't do also was F17 smoke volume, because that's already set to what I want it to be. And I think that's it, yeah. So that's all the functions in this. I really do like the sound quality. 2 Fat Boy speakers makes it sound perfect. I may end up switching this to lock sound though, just because, you know, lock sounds more accurate than a older MTH file, and, you know, better low speed performance as well. I will say one thing before we do actually continue the running session here. One smaller issue I have been having with this, it's not really a bad one, it's just, you know, the traction tires on this are 17 years old, so it kind of slips at a lower speed. Once you get up to speed, it's fine. So yeah. And one of the things are also is that this rear pony truck has a lot of weight on it, so the spring's a lot thicker. And all of these axles, like I said earlier, are all sprung. All of them, which I'm not saying that was a bad decision. I just think making the grip wheel axle sprung was kind of a bad decision, because it, you know, I guess kind of bounces a little bit. Maybe it does. I can't really tell. But sometimes the front set of drivers will lift up because of that. And I have heard people saying that they need to put weight in the front to keep it down, which is something I think I may have to do because of how uneven my layout is, because of all the warping of the wood that's happened over time on these plywood that I have here. So yeah, let's start the running session here, and I'll see you guys after and talk more for the points. Guys, the lighting on it, I do have to turn it on here. So, I'm going to take my sound card off in a moment. But all you have to do to turn it on is F3. I'm on the wrong locomotive. That would help if I was on 4449. So, just F3. And there's the lights. They're very bright in person, actually. You got your number board lights. Of course, it won't really focus. Let's see our exposure there. Unfortunately, I won't turn up any higher, but number boards are lit here. They are lit there as well. You got your classification lights and your smoke, which you can kind of see. It has really good idle smoke, which is something I like about MTH. So yeah, let's... Alrighty, folks. Now for the end of my review and, well, my points. So, generally, in my videos, I start from 50 points and deduct points from there if I find something that's bad or just wrong to the prototype. So, let's start off here. So, it is unfortunately missing the bell, so that's minus. I'm gonna minus 5 points for that. And the tender distance to the locomotive is pretty far away as well. So I'm gonna take off another. I'm gonna say 3 points there. So that actually no, I'll take off 5 points for that one as well. So that will bring us down to 40 points. And I will say the brakes are a bit far away from the drivers. Although maybe they're like that in real life, I'm not sure. Just mentioning that. I have heard on some model railroader forums that the what do you call it, driver size is actually smaller than the real life prototype. Although I don't know if that's really true. 'Cause I think if it was, there would have been a bit more of an explosion on the YouTube side of things than there actually was. Because MTH released it multiple times. I have one of their first ones. I think I have the second run actually, the 2008 version. But I don't know how true that is. I know when at least I searched it up, if I actually randomly came across it. Apparently, with the GS6s, they had too small of drivers. Because they made a de-skirted GS6 as well, which is pretty cool. But apparently those drivers were a bit too small. I don't know if that applied to the GS4 well. GS4 as well. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. But that's just what I heard. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna take any points off that. I don't think I will because they look pretty scaled to me. Hopefully it is scale. Knowing MTH, it's probably not, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of doubt there. I love the stars on the drivers. That's pretty nice. I do think the number boards need to be a bit brighter, so I'm gonna take 5 points off for that as well. So that brings us down to 35 points. And then the detail between the tender and the locomotive is a bit bare as well. Although, again, this is from 2008, so it is decently old. I'm gonna take off 3 points for that, so that brings us down to 32 points there. And the overall running quality is really good. I love the sound system. In it, I didn't think I'd like the chuffing as much as I actually do. It's actually pretty nice once you get to higher speeds, as there is a drift chuff, a loaded chuff, and a normal chuff, which again, majority of modern manufacturers don't actually have. Cough cough, Broad Limited. Very interesting to say the least. Although I do think MTH may have focused a little bit too much on the sound system, and at least the sound fidelity, and not really the overall realisticness, because the whistle is not close to what it would have sounded like in 2000. I don't know if I'm correct here, but I think in 2000 they were still running the Southern Pacific 6 chime. gonna be that. So that brings us down to a total of 33 points. Kind of interesting, I will say. I will say, recommend it if you are willing to put some work into it. As if you can find one for what I paid for it, $300 brand new, Canadian dollars too. That's probably 250 USD around there, I think. So I really did get a good deal. And it probably wouldn't be too hard to actually buy the details for this. You could probably kit bash some of broader limited parts, or heck, maybe if 3D print your own bell, which wouldn't be too hard either. So yeah, definitely worth it if you are willing to put the work into it, like I just said. So yeah, I definitely do like this locomotive. And I can say I do recommend it, but I would proceed with caution if you are a scale modeler. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in my next review. Please like and subscribe and share if you like this type of content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbyes.